The world that has gone so cold, obviously all countries are looking at ways of bringing people together. Multilateralism is one of the key ways of bringing the world together. Food, soccer, or sports, these are some of the universal tools when it comes to bridging nations, bringing people together. In this case, our focus is going to be on food, and we'll be talking about culinary diplomacy or food gastronomy. I don't know, however you want to call it, but I have the experts here with me, and we are focusing on Germany's approach to bringing the world together, starting with Ghana. So there's going to be food fusion when it comes to Ghana and Germany. We are looking at using this approach to bring the people together and foster relations in all aspects. I'm excited. Anything that has to do with food obviously excites me. Food enthusiasts like myself, we are very much excited. This is the most interesting aspect of this initiative. It's going to be a fusion of Ghanaian dishes and German dishes. That's why I said that food is one of the key ways of bringing people together. We forget about our differences. We sit at the table and then we jaw and we find ways to taking care of the issues. Welcome to Diplomatic Affairs, the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations. My name is Harriet Nate. I will allow my guests to introduce themselves and then we'll start talking about food fusion, Germany and Ghana. Hi, welcome to Diplomatic Affairs.
Hi, yeah, I'm Otto Pfeiffer, and I'm a chef in Germany, and the ambassador, the German ambassador, invites me to go to Ghana, and Esther too. We both traveled she from Hamburg and I from Berlin, directly to Ghana, and it's a pleasure for me to stay here and to learn about Ghana food and vegetables and all these things, So.
Is this your first time in Ghana?
This is my first time in Ghana, the second time in Africa. I've been in Gambia a long time ago, 25 years ago. And it's refreshing Africa,
Absolutely. We are thrilled to have you here. This is your second home.
My second home is Ghana, yeah, for sure.
That's nice. And of course, you, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Esther Mumuni. I'm actually originally Ghanaian. I've been living in Germany for so many years now. I'm married to a German, so Germany is also my second home. I actually come from the north of Ghana. I really have always been into, actually I started with baking. Yeah, baking was my thing. I had a small business here in Accra, and I was just not baking anything. It was German Ghanaian bakery. So I was doing a lot of German stuff, and of course incorporating Ghanaian ingredients into my baking. That's how this whole thing started. And when I went back to Germany 2023, I realized, okay, we could still do more. And that's how it started with all this, fusion thing. In Germany, I live in Hamburg. There are lots of Ghanaians, and everybody wants, of course, eat Ghanaian food, but we don't get all the ingredients. So it's always to see how we can incorporate German ingredients into the Ghanaian food, and that's how this whole thing started. So yeah.
Right. This is a brilliant initiative by the Embassy of Germany here in Ghana, His Excellency Daniel Kroll. Now, you will be bringing all the ingredients from Germany to the table, and you will also be bringing all the ingredients from Ghana to the table. Let's talk about this food fusion idea. What are the kinds of dishes we are looking at?
Yeah, especially, for this white melon, not powder. I think it's a powder. I don't know, and to make it, like tofu,
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic for me, to eat. And you know the name. It's from the north and it's from tamale.
Ghanaians know it more as agushi. The white, exactly agushi, exactly.
Agushi was fantastic, without soya and things like this. Nearly a different kind of not taste, but tasty, but not as tofu. So I thought, for all these vegetarians and vegan people, so this is a product, they have to choose.
Wow. Let's talk to you, what are the dishes as well? From the German side, I'm learning one or two dishes, and from you, I may be familiar with some of the things that would come up. Yeah.
So we would have, as a starter, we would have two different types of breads. So a German typical bread with a sourdough, and a Ghanaian made bread with baobab. So we also have that sourness, but through our baobab. Then we would have two dips. The first one would be out of the bambram beans, which we all know, but we always eat bambram beans as beans. And I thought, why not make it, we have hummus, which we are also familiar to as a dip. But then we're not using hummus or the chickpeas, we're using bambram beans for that. So we're changing the twist, We had the dinner last week already, and we did it, and everybody...
You had the dinner without me?
Sorry. So and a lot of people were very, surprised. Yes, so we have the bambram beans dip again, then we are making a butter, with moringa and shea butter. Also as a dip, just have something else. Then we are going to have a starter. We call it in the North Euro. It's made out of maize and beans, which is actually usually cooked together, and we just eat it with oil and onions. I don't know if you've seen that before, yeah. But then we are not just going to leave it that way. We're just going to use just a little of it. Then we would have a German, what was it again?
After the Euro, this is a ball, like a little bit like a croquette. I don't know the English word, for it. And the Dutch people eat it really often. And there's some pork inside. And we made for the vegetarians, we make it with cheese, wagashi.
Exactly.
Wagashi, yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah. So, and we fry it in a different way, crispy, not with panko or with bread flavors, So we will fry it with.
So actually, we would also just
very nice one.
So we're going to have actually a tiger nut drink, which we actually all know. But when we do the tiger nut, we're not just going to throw away the chaff, what is left.
Yes.
We're going to use that one to, instead of the breadcrumb, we are going to dry it and use the tiger nut to make the wagashi, to fry it. So then you have this nuttiness from the tiger nut into the wagashi. So we're not just going to fry it the usual way, but then have it a bit of this twist.
We use it, the powder or this crisp, part also for the German part, that we will fry it, this kind of not really meatballs, they are soft, they are juicy, crunchy, and so they are really tasty and I think delicious. And we have Aleppo underneath, so the ball and Aleppo, and so it's really a mixture between Ghana and German kind of food, yeah.
So if I'm hearing you clearly, nothing is going to go to waste.
No, that's also the idea. We throw a lot away, a lot, and that's the thing that we just have to think: what can we do with what we don't actually need? You can always use you cook for something, exactly. Or even for the vegetarians, you can always just make. In Germany, normally they also do something like meatballs, but just out of vegetables. So you can even just put them all together, and then with some egg to put it together to also make something else. So we are just going to try to just see that we don't have much waste, and then try to reuse the things that we don't need, or even last time we did out of sweet potatoes, we made chips. Which was also something that we usually don't do. We don't fry it, we just put it in the oven to dry it, so it's also healthy. When you even eat a lot of it, it doesn't
add only a little bit salt and that's it. So, and when you have a carrot, and you have to peel it, so you can use this, or you can use it for a vegetable, both, oder für eine Brühe.
Well, thank you so much, Chef, representing Germany and of course Ghana. And you say Ghana is your second home, right? And Germany is your second home. So Ghana is your first home, actually. Well, thank you so much. But we are not done. We are taking a break. I would like to also speak speak with the head of mission for Germany, His Excellency Daniel Kroll, so we can expatiate more on what this whole thing seeks to achieve. What is the goal at the end of the day? Today we are coming to you briefly from the residence of the German ambassador, and of course it's all about a very great initiative. It has to do with food. We are talking about food diplomacy, culinary diplomacy, food gastronomy, whatever you want to call it. But the most important expression for me is food fusion when it comes to Germany and Ghana bilateral relations. I love the approach, and I always say that these are some of the greatest means of getting people together when it comes to anything around food. Whether we are fighting, we still sit at the table, we eat, and then we dialogue. And then by the time we are done eating, we are friends. So this is one of the key ways of bringing people together. That's why I'm excited about this initiative. I have with me His Excellency Daniel Kroll, and he will be telling me basically what this whole thing seeks to achieve. What's the objective? Excellency, welcome to Diplomatic Affairs.
Harriet, thank you very much for having me.
Welcome. Let's talk about food. Did you like food?
I love food.
Everybody loves food.
Sometimes I love it too much. And you know, my Ghanaian friends talked me into enjoying the Ghanaian food, and it resulted that I gained 15 kilos since I came to Ghana, yes.
What's your favorite? Just two Ghanaian dishes.
Palava sauce is my favorite, and I love very much fonio as a salad.
Okay, that's good. And let's talk about this great initiative of yours that seeks to bring the two countries together.
Well, I think it originated when we were talking about our support for Ghanaian security initiatives in northern Ghana. And I thought that we all know that security is not about machinery, firepower alone, but it's about winning the hearts and minds of the people and the trust. And so I thought, what is key or what is close to the hearts of my Ghanaian friends, and food comes to mind immediately. And so I thought maybe we can show our appreciation for the delights you find in Ghanaian cooking and in northern cooking, and special fruits, flavors, and ideas. And so that's where it originated. I wanted to show our respect and our appreciation for culinary culture in northern Ghana. And that's when I started to reach out to some chefs in Germany to get them excited about this idea.
How sustainable is this initiative?
Well, I believe it has a huge potential. I can sense that people who listen to the narrative are very, very excited. And we as an embassy, we are not an implementing agency, but we can try to deliver a proof of concept and get other people interested. And in my view, Ghana tries to attract more tourism, and food is an essential part of any tourism concept. And so that could be an interesting opportunity for Ghana to improve the marketing abroad through food and through food initiatives. And so I'm hopeful that some institutions, private business, will pick it up and scale it up.
What will be the format? This is a food expo. What will be the format?
Well, you could think of organize a food competition. You invite chefs to different big hotels who then compete, and you have a awards process that could be done. You could do it more on a street fair style, like I know it from my hometown Hamburg, where we have an African food festival. So you have different stands, and that is a more popular approach to it. You could organize cooking events in the villages and bring chefs from around the globe to cook with Ghanaians in Ghana. So there are many entry points.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Final words?
good appetite.
Good appetite. Thank you so much for talking to us. We appreciate it a lot. Well, there's a very popular expression or saying that the way to a man's heart is what? Food, right? By extension, I think the way to any country's heart is food. So I am of the belief that this is going to bring everybody to the table and bring all of us together. Thank you so much for watching.